Hi, in this video I discuss aspects around problem definition and role of theory. Abstracting from reality to define a problem for research involves identifying a specific topic or issue that requires investigation and defining it in a way that can be studied systematically. This process typically involves simplifying complex real world situations or phenomena into a more manageable form that can be analyzed and studied in a rigorous and scientific way. To begin the process of abstracting from reality, it is often helpful to identify a specific area of interest or concern. This could be anything from a broad social issue, like income inequality, to a specific technological problem, like developing more efficient solar cells. Once a general topic has been identified, the researcher must begin to narrow down the focus of their inquiry. This may involve developing a research question, which is a specific and answerable query that can guide the research process. The research question should be framed in a way that is both clear and concise, and it should be designed to facilitate empirical investigation. This means that it should be possible to gather data that can be used to answer the question, and that the data should be relevant to the question at hand. After the research question has been formulated, the researcher must then consider the various methods and techniques that can be used to collect and analyze data. This may involve reviewing existing literature, conducting experiments, analyzing statistical data, or conducting interviews and surveys. Ultimately, the goal of abstracting from reality to define a problem for research is to identify a specific area of inquiry that can be studied in a rigorous and systematic way. By carefully defining the research problem and developing a clear research question, researchers can ensure that their work is both relevant and scientifically valid. A theory is an abstraction of reality in that it is a simplified and generalized representation of a real world phenomenon or set of phenomena. In other words, a theory is a conceptual framework that is constructed to explain or predict a range of observations or events in the world. A theory typically involves the identification of key variables, concepts, and relationships that are believed to be relevant to the phenomenon being studied. These variables and concepts are often abstracted from the complex and messy reality of the world in order to create a simplified and coherent model that can be analyzed and tested. For example, in the field of psychology, there are many theories that attempt to explain human behavior. One such theory is the theory of reasoned action. The theory of reasoned action is a social psychological theory that explains the relationship between attitudes, beliefs, and behavior. It was first proposed by Fishbein and Eisen in the late 1970s and has since been widely used in a variety of fields, including health psychology, environmental psychology, and marketing. At its core, the theory of reasoned action posits that people's behavior is determined by their intentions, which are in turn influenced by their attitudes, subjective norms, and perceived behavioral control. Specifically, the theory proposes three things: attitudes, subjective norms, and perceived behavioral control. Attitudes are people's positive or negative evaluations of a particular behavior that influence their intention to engage in that behavior. Attitudes are formed through a process of cognitive evaluation, which involves considering the benefits and drawbacks of the behavior. Subjective norms are the beliefs that people hold about the expectations and opinions of significant others that will also influence their intention to engage in a particular behavior. This includes the perceived social pressure to perform or not perform a behavior, as well as the extent to which people believe that significant others will approve or disapprove of the behavior. Perceived behavioral control is the people's perception of their ability to perform a particular behavior that will also influence their intention to engage in that behavior. This includes their perception of the ease or difficulty of performing the behavior, as well as their belief in their ability to overcome barriers to performing the behavior. The theory of reasoned action has been used to explain a wide range of behaviors, including health behaviors such as smoking, exercise, and healthy eating, environmental behaviors such as recycling and energy conservation, and consumer behaviors such as purchasing decisions and brand loyalty. It has also been used to design and evaluate behavior change interventions, such as health promotion campaigns and educational programs. Overall, theories are essential tools for understanding and making sense of the world around us. They allow us to identify patterns, relationships, and underlying principles that can help us to explain and predict phenomena in a systematic and scientific way. However, it is important to recognize that theories are abstractions of reality and should be continually tested and refined in light of new evidence and observations.